Welcome to the Hivemind podcast. I am here to Phyrexia, aka Kyle Kelly.
I am MTG Cranium 707, your one-stop shop for anything Sliver or Hive Mind related. What is going on? It's been a minute.
Go ahead, yes.
Today, we have a couple special guests on episode, what is this now, Kyle? 11?
No, this is 12.
It's
This
11,
is
right?
this is the end of our year episode, actually.
Oh, this is the finale. So welcome to the finale of the Hive Mind podcast. This is going to be a good one because we got a couple awesome freaking guests today. We'll let them go ahead and introduce themselves. We'll go ahead and start with ladies first.
Hi, I'm Paige or Inkvale. A lot of you know me on TikTok for being the queen of mono black, and I'm here to hang out with Kyle, Cranium, and our other guest.
What's up, everybody? Rip Pull Repeat here, your one-stop shop for rules and magic interactions. Really happy to be here, second time on the podcast. Really stoked to be on the season finale. So I'm ready to go. I hope you guys got some good stuff for me.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Glad you guys came on here once again, and want to give a shout out to everybody that's been hanging out with us all year. It's been really a blessing, honestly.
Yes.
I also
It's been a
want to
blast to
give a
do.
shout out to my affiliate printing proxies. They've been treating me well as also. So hopefully, we'll see what happens with that. But yeah,
Absolutely.
so today we are starting out with there's been a lot of changes through the formats of Magic, and we're going to talk about a few of them. One of them being the change to the combat step. Rip, if you want to go ahead and start us off with that, giving us maybe the old rules going into the new stuff.
Yeah, so what basically is it was the removal of the damage assignment order. So damage assignment order no longer exists. What that was is if you declared an attacker and your opponent blocked with multiple creatures, you would assign them in order of who you want to deal damage first. And then if you dealt lethal to that creature, you could then move on to assigning damage to the next creature. And then there was a moment where the before damage was assigned that the blocker or the attacker could cast combat tricks. So what normally would happen is the blocker or the your blocking opponent would cast like a giant's growth and +3/+3 because they would know what creature you were assigning damage order first. And what would happen is you would lose your attacker and the blocking opponent wouldn't lose any creatures. So combat tricks were very powerful for the blocker. And what WotC did was they took away the damage assignment order. So what will happen is you can assign your damage however you wish among the amount of blocking creatures that are assigned to block. So if you have a 2/2 or a 3/3 and a 2/2, I can assign 2 damage to the 3/3 and 2 damage to the 2/2, 1 damage to the 3/3, and so on and however I want. But if the opponent, and then they changed when you can do instants and sorceries, or the instance for combat tricks. And if you cast, I'm allowed to then assign the damage after the pumps. So if you pump one of your creatures that's blocking, I can then assign all my damage to the one that wasn't pumped. So effectively, it just gave more power back to attacking.
Right. So basically, they took away a round of priority, if I remember so. Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
I mean, they just changed where that priority is.
Right.
So once damage assignment is done, then that is the end of combat. It happens, so there's no more tricks that you can do.
So,
I like
AKA,
the-
they tried to fix a clock that isn't really broken too
Well,
much. I mean, essentially,
people.
it just
No, go ahead.
It switches up the format and how you play, and like I guess I don't play 60 card because I don't know, I just don't like any 60 card format at the moment. I haven't really dove deep into a lot of them, but it just seems like they're taking away the ability to be able to interact with somebody swinging at you, and that just doesn't seem like a very viable thing to do.
Well, the way you got to look at it, Magic the Gathering has a lot of different win cons, but the number one win con in Magic the Gathering is attacking. You know, that's the
Right.
most popular. It's the most easy. It's really how you people win. So
Right.
to take away that power and give it more to the blockers, where you're getting punished for attacking, I think
Right.
makes this a better solution in the sense of attacking should be better than blocking. In my
Right.
opinion, in any game, I think offensive should be slightly better. There should be some cons to just always being on the defense unless you've set your deck up, to have defensive
Mm.
Right.
protections with enchantments. So with that, I do think it's changed. I grew up playing it this way, so I definitely understand. But I also am okay with the movement towards to being more attack focused in a game that's trying to also push to more casual players.
And that's what I heard is this is this is like the this was like the old school rules, like way back when Magic, when was first around and
Mhm.
everything. So I guess it's kind of going back to roots, so it makes sense. But it just, I don't know, like you make a change for so long and then just randomly out of nowhere, freaking, do something like that. It's almost like banning Mana Crypt out of fucking nowhere. Just saying.
Mhm.
I have a question
don't even
about that though.
don't even get me started on that. But go ahead.
I, I
Yes.
I don't I don't have a question about banning Mana Crypt. I have a question. Why would they change the um the way that combat is done then for the combat tricks?
This is considered more intuitive. So
Mhm.
instead of the blocker knowing how damage assignment would be done, and also the fact that players didn't like the conga, it's basically it was called the conga line of death, where you had to go through the first one to the second one to the third one. Um,
Yeah.
Many new players felt it was more intuitive to assign their damage how they saw fit with multiple blockers.
Mm.
Um, so that was the first part, getting rid of the Congo line of death. But by getting rid of that, you had to change how combat tricks were done. So, because it'd be weird, because you'd have the same issue. So if I split my damage up between, if I attack with a 2/2 and I'm being blocked by two 2/2s, and I split my damage 1 and 1, the same issue is that the blocker has all the power. They play the combat trick, which is made for, historically, combat tricks are for attackers, you know
Mhm.
Yeah.
just in most games. But Magic is a unique game where you can use things that may be for something, and players can find a way to change it so that it is a different way. You know,
Right.
so in this game, we've evolved to the point where combat tricks can also be used defensively. And now instead of the defense saving both their creatures, they have to it has a little bit more of strategy where they have to pick who they want to save, and then the attacker at least still gets to kill them. Even if they still lose their attacker, they still get something. It's still you know, a
Yeah.
1 for 2 kind of thing. So I can see where the change is. Was there a need for the change? That I don't know. I don't have the numbers, that WotC sees. I know that we're getting more and more new players to the game, and they probably felt that this was much easier for new players to again understand. Is my guess.
Yeah.
I can
That makes sense.
attest to that as someone that's only been playing for like I think I hit 2 years in October. And so with like blocking and damage assignment when, my local play group was teaching me, it was really confusing at first. I won't lie. So then that was when I was just like, no blocks. I
So
stopped
so did
blocking because I was
that
like, no, I'll just take the damage.
so Phage, my other question so for you being more new, would that defer you from attacking also? Like
No, I like the punchies. I like attacking. I like turning my stuff sideways. But again, I also like my local play group. All play really aggro decks, so that was just what I was exposed to. Like my first actual deck that wasn't a precon was Rakdos, and then I went to Coma for Simic, which isn't really a traditional Simic deck. It's like you're creating a bunch of tokens and trying to overrun. So again, just turning stuff sideways. That's how I was taught how to play.
And that's how I was taught to play too. My first deck was a white, a mono white attack deck, where all you did
Mm.
was just. So I mean, but also, uh, Air. Kyle, we played a game just the other day together. How many times did double blocking even come up?
zero.
Zero, not
Yeah.
once. And that's the only time that this will even matter.
Right.
Well, and that seems like in the spirit of the game, like the originating portion of this game was, yeah, you're swinging, you're getting because life total is only 20 at that point, so
Mhm.
it's easier to get somebody down to zero in their life than it is to combo off in a game format like that, as compared to Commander, where now you got 40 life, you got double that to work with, kind of thing. So yes, punching people in the face, but comboing out, getting like a billion squirrels out there with haste, and then all of a sudden swinging like
with triangle
that's
horse. Cough, cough.
yeah, or like Gruul players, they're really known for, hey, I'm gonna punch you square in the face, and there's nothing you can do about it, type of thing.
Yeah, and this only again really affects multiple blockers,
Yeah.
Right.
which is usually pretty niche, mainly held to like draft and sealed. There may be a few instances where you'll want to double block, but rarely is double blocking the correct answer. It's pretty obvious and telegraphed when someone maybe does a double block that there's a trick,
Right.
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Right.
I was gonna
So
say
like I said, we
I'd
played an entire commander game and not one double block happened.
even
We
in
had,
yeah, even in CDH, I don't think it comes up very often. Because
I
The
honestly,
can't
only time I
remember.
even
the
like
only
even
time I'll double block is if it's a like absolute threat to the table, like if this thing doesn't go away, like we're all screwed, type of thing.
yeah,
Yeah, but you're
Yeah.
going to
That's
lose
the only
everything
point I
anyway.
yeah,
right.
You're in
Right.
dire straits when you have to start double blocking. So that's why it's like people are really up at arms about it. But I'm like, how? If you really sit back and self-reflect, how often do you really double block? I mean,
Right.
some people might double block a lot, but I don't. I never,
yeah,
I can't remember the last time I double blocked.
yeah. I like
Right.
the change of the active player actually assigning combat damage. That actually kind of makes me happy. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because
You should be rewarded
yeah,
for being the aggressor.
for sure. And like Cranium was saying, it's nice to be able to get rid of something maybe that's hindering your board state. Once in a while.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Granite
Yeah, and
Magic. I'm
and
sorry.
it doesn't give your opponent, it doesn't basically give your opponent a free like whatever, like when they block it's just free,
Right.
and then you're blown out
Mhm.
for doing what the game's made to do, and that's attack. It wasn't until the game evolved to now where we're like, okay, life total is a resource.
Right.
We have so many combo pieces in the game now, so the game has changed. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of people tend to forget that, who've been playing it for a long time, that attacking still is the most,
Common way.
popular way to
Yeah.
win.
Right. Right.
Every creature can win the game for you.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Even a Dranith
So,
Magistrate.
yep,
You know what?
every
Listen,
a one
you
three can win the game for
you
you.
get that fucking listen. I'm speaking and set aside this little conversation. I'm speaking directly to Wizards of the Coast, Gavin Verhey, even the professor. Why the fuck isn't Dranith banned? Okay?
Hey,
Get rid of that stupid mono white
Cranium,
card. It's a problem.
My flubs won through Adranth Magistrate.
Well, good for you, Rip, okay?
That's so funny.
I love that card being out. I was like, I'm gonna win the game with
You know
flubs.
what? I hope I do it in a game with my Urza deck where someone plays a Dranith and then I play a knowledge pool just to see everyone go, wait, what?
Now, Gilded Drake and flubs is basically done for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
So
So final thoughts on the changes to combat.
I think it's going to switch up that format just a little bit, but not by much. I
Yeah.
think some old head players are definitely going to be like, "Oh shit, look, it's actually Magic." And they'll enjoy it a lot. Some new players may not like it as much. They may not get the rulings in general, but thanks to people like Rip Will Repeat, who teaches us
mm,
all the rulings and how to play it and how the stack works, I think that it'll teach players to really think about how they're gonna organize and do what they're gonna do on the board before they actually do it. Think before actually doing anything. But that's just my opinion.
Puts more strategy into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we're ever gonna really notice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've played how many games, I've watched how many games, and I haven't seen it come up once, honestly, where there was a double
Yeah.
block and someone was like, "Oh, my pump spell for my blocker, did this." So I
Right.
think I don't think it's as big of a deal. I don't think it's just going to come up much. And when it does, then maybe we'll have a quick discussion about it. But I think we've all. I mean, I think already the player base has already moved on to the next rage bait.
To the next thing they're gonna bitch about.
Yeah.
Which speaking of that,
Oh.
Uh-oh.
what were we gonna talk about next there, Kyle? Were we gonna talk
Oh yes,
about
there's a couple more.
actually?
There's a couple more changes. So standard. So we're gonna talk about 60 card for a minute. So standard got
Yeah.
a, a, a year extension to their rotation, and including Foundations, which is a set that is legal 5 years. Thoughts
Yeah,
on
that's the
that?
one that extended out more than just 1 year. That one went out 3 more years
Yeah.
because normally it's only
So
2 years, right?
previously, standard 60 card rotation was every 2 years. They moved it up to
Right.
three, and then they created Foundations, and now that that's out, that is going to be legal for 5 years, which I thought was an interesting move. I think they're trying to revitalize standard, even though everybody knows Commander has overtaken the game of Magic. In my opinion, it's their biggest seller, I believe. I think this was a step towards to actually get 60 card back in the game. What's your guys' thoughts on that?
I don't have an opinion because I don't play standard, to be quite honest. I've done like pre-releases and drafts and stuff, but I don't heavily invest in playing standard.
As someone who used to play competitive standard, I liked the idea of increasing the amount, but as someone who, it's a very expensive format to keep up with as far as the rotations, the meta changes. So having your cards in there longer, if you're doing the grind, is fantastic. I was all for this new Foundations for new players to kind of get back into the 60 card formats. Their cards last longer. And then I saw that they're releasing 6 standard sets alongside of it.
Yes.
That's insane. That's insane. No standard player should have to put up with 6 standard decks in a year.
And those were
That's just
and those weren't the only changes. So Universes Beyond, they will have 3 sets a year in standard rotation, which usually those Universes Beyond sets were just more
modern legal.
modern legal and Commander, right? So
Yep.
That one I'm kind of interested in. I don't know. I'm kind of weirded about that one because I'm more of the traditional Magic player with the traditional like D&D sets fit, but like you start putting like
SpongeBob.
Whatever. I mean, sure. If you print a SpongeBob set into standard, it's just like, oh man, here we go.
It's kind of like
It's so funny.
and this is the thing about it that me and our favorite troll,
Dave,
whoever graced his presence on our podcast and on Bad Magic Dave, it's becoming the Fortnite TCG game right now, right? We're getting so much crap that just doesn't fit the narrative of Magic, and now like I think they're going based off of like the Lord of the Rings set, right? The Lord of the Rings set did amazing, but let's be honest, we're all nerds. We all love Lord of the Rings, and it fits what's going on with Magic the Gathering. You have wizards, you have halflings, you have dwarves, elves, goblins, all this fun shit. But then all of a sudden, like before that, there was The Walking Dead. Okay, cool. It was just a little secret layer thing. And then you had Transformers, and then you had all this other stuff that was coming in. And yeah, kind of, maybe sort of fit because zombies and robots that transform, cool. But then when I saw that from MagicCon, SpongeBob, I'm like, the fuck is that? Are we gonna have a snail travel or some shit?
Oh god.
Like, and then, like, honestly, I don't like the Marvel set. Makes no fucking sense to me. Marvel is a part of Disney, which almost makes me think that Disney is dipping their hands in Hasbro a little bit, right? Because that's a Disney, like, that's major. So what else are we gonna get? Are we gonna get, fucking Star Wars? Are we gonna get Pixar? Are we gonna get, are we gonna have Inside Out and fucking Lilo and Stitch and like all this other shit that just doesn't make fucking sense to the game? I thought that's why they made Lorcana So why is Disney, who got designers from Magic the Gathering to make cards for Lorcana, why are they coming over now into this shit? Like, you know what? And I'm gonna say this with my whole chest. I don't give a damn if it, people want to get mad at me on this. People want to complain about the toxicity of the people in Magic the Gathering. If anyone that listens to this damn podcast has ever gone on Comic Book Talk and seen the shit that goes on over there, now you're going to get all that toxicity in Magic the Gathering. And I don't know about SpongeBob nerds, but I'm sure there's some toxic motherfuckers over there too. And now they're going to be coming over into the space, which forms a problem in the community itself. We're going to get this huge wave of people that we may or may not like. I'm sure there's good people just like any other ones, but like it blows my mind, and it just seems like Daddy Hasbro over there is like, "Oh, we're just going to pump all this product out, and who cares if there's product fatigue, and we're just going to get all the money because money, 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 money." Fuck that. Proxy everything, play the game.
You just sounded like.
You mean like Mr. Krabs?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah. Right. Dude, maybe they'll make a Mr. Krabs and it'll be like at the bottom like Hasbro bitches. I don't know. Like, fuck.
Well, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Universes Beyond. If I wanted to play those card games that have those characters, I'd play those card games with those characters. What I do appreciate is the move from Universes Beyond to making them standard. And the reason is if you increase the bubble of like what it is. Before it was they're making hyper powerful cards to push these Universes Beyonds, and what was happening is they're creating a rotating format in Modern. And Modern's already has a huge price ceiling. So they've
Right.
basically created this every 6 month rotation in Modern. They couldn't have that. Modern was a very popular format. Pioneers kind of going it because they're still protected from the Universes Beyond, and it's still pretty traditional. So I can appreciate them pulling back the power on these Universes Beyonds and using more of the IP hype, like Final Fantasy, to push the product more so than hyper powerful cards that are just like, buy these cards from this set because they're going to be Modern legal only. So they're going to be hyper powerful, hyper pushed. So I can appreciate that. What I can't appreciate is Wizards not putting enough faith in their original IPs. We had a very successful Bloomborough, very hyped Bloomborough, where everyone really enjoyed it. It got new players, people who grew up with Redwall really enjoyed it. They came in with the Duskmorn horror set, which was kind of out there, but you know what? It pleasantly surprised me. It wasn't completely hot garbage, so I really appreciate it. There's some very fun cards. Impending Mechanic, super fun. And then they're going to go out on a limb with Aether Drift, which is really out there. Which I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, like let's see where this goes.
Right.
But it's still an original IP with the original characters, and they're just seeing to push the boundaries. And unfortunately, I think Aether Drift is going to flop. And what's going to happen is Hasbro's going to see that flop, and they're going to go, okay, we're only doing repeats. We're only going to Ravnica over and over again. We're only going to Innistrad. And then here's all of these awesome IPs that everybody wants. Ridley Scott, Final Fantasy, every video game under the sun. And that's where I'm afraid. And that's why it's like I've been trying to kind of be a little bit more hype about Aether Drift because of if it fails, it's kind of like, okay, we're not going to go out on a limb anymore. We're not going to give you guys crazy stuff and try different things of our own IP and our own characters. We're just going to rely on Mario,
Right.
Yeah.
And that's my
It's
fear.
me, Mario.
That was
Yeah.
so random. It's me.
That's
It's
See,
me.
like,
and so that's my fear, and that's why I'm just like I'm okay with the power coming back from Universes Beyond, but what I'm not okay is that I think the original IPs are going to go less and less, and that's
Well-
unfortunate because I play Magic the Gathering for the original IPs.
Right. And so like with the lore of all that and everything, and how many planes are there actually? Someone Google that real quick.
Oh God,
How
there's
many
so
planes?
many.
Yeah. there's
So
a lot.
we always see the same sets come out almost every single year, right?
It's gonna be
We're always seeing
return to return to return.
80.
return.
There are
Right.
81 planes.
Yeah.
Right, so there's 81 planes, and you're telling me we only get 6 fucking different planes? Like, why are we going back to Innistrad? Innistrad sucked. Wholeheartedly
I didn't like it
sucked.
either.
Both of
I
them
didn't like
did.
it either.
Midnight Hunt, and the other vampiric one. They sucked. And like, why haven't we gone back to Amonkhet yet? Why haven't we
Yep.
gone over on that plane? Like, why have we not
That's the
I
one
mean, we
I
went back.
want.
We went back to Kamigawa, and it was hyper successful.
Oh, I
They
love
went
it.
out with the
Kamigawa was
cyberpunk.
so
Oh
fire.
yeah, dude, that was good. I loved it. The art was good too.
Kamigawa, Return to Kamigawa was great. I think it added new things to the game. It brought back nostalgia. It showed like cyberpunk esque old cards that we grew up with. It was good, and that was fun. So it's nice to see those. But yeah, now we're getting Innistrad remastered. It just seems to be the same thing. And when things get stale, we just go back to Ravnica.
Yeah.
Return to the
Or
return of the
Dominaria.
remastered.
We just had the remastered. We just had Ravnica remastered. Oh my gosh,
Like
we did.
they had Dominaria reunited, and then Dominaria reunited,
Oh,
and then
it's just
Dominaria. It's like, God damn it, I'm sick and tired of Dominaria.
yeah, it's just but they did go back to Phyrexia, which is a fan
Right,
favorite. Everybody
right.
loves going back. Everyone loves new Phyrexia. It just has that hit and that what the art style that people like. So I can definitely
Here,
understand that. And
here's. I'm sorry, my bad.
no, go ahead. No.
I was about to say, here's my problem with us going back to all these sets, right? Because we have our certain ones where you have the vampires, and then you have all these other ones that we just talked about. There's slivers on every single damn plane. Why are there not slivers reprinted in every single
Jesus.
one?
I was
I'm
waiting.
pissed. I'm genuinely pissed about that. Like the invasion set, right? They open portals to every single planes, but not a single fucking sliver in
Oh,
sight.
I got the
It's
answer for you.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
I got the
What?
answer for you. They are trapped
What's
in
that?
Mount Doom.
Yeah, probably. Hey,
And
listen,
and
motherfucker.
honestly, the reason is that slivers don't play well in a sealed format without more support.
Yeah.
You're
So
right.
by throwing in
You are
just
right.
one, it's basically either chaff rare that you can't even use because it's either going to be too powerful if they want to print another 5-color one, or it's just going to not be powerful enough to see any play besides slivers, which
Right.
is already kind.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a popular tribe, but it's very niche too.
Right. Yeah, no,
You
it
know,
it absolutely is. It's like elves or goblins or any other typal deck or however the hell tribe. I don't give a shit what you
they're
call
even
them.
more they're even more niche though than goblins and elves because in goblins and elves you can do some they a green like a Llanowar elves fits in most
Right.
green decks. A
Right.
sliver doesn't really fit in anything but slivers besides a
Listen,
select few.
with Maskwood Nexus, anything is
Oh my
possible.
god.
Okay, I'm just
Jesus,
saying.
here we go.
I run a slivers in my coin flip deck. I run the coin flip sliver. It goes
Absolutely.
infinite.
I
Same.
mean, yeah, no, that definitely. I actually had Dino Dez in his coin flip deck do that. He was like, "You're gonna love this one, and I'm gonna win off of it." I was like, "You
Yeah.
son of a bitch!" I want
Yeah,
to.
That's so funny.
it's such an easy combo.
Right? The frenetic sliver, I believe, is the one that
Yep,
does
and
it.
all they need to do is reprint the Efrit that also does it in foil, and then I get to run
Mm-hmm.
that too because it's an all foil deck. So I'm pretty
Hell yeah.
bougie.
I'm pretty bougie.
That's so funny.
So yeah, I mean, it's
But we
going
are
back to
going
the
back to
original.
Lorwyn, and I think Lorwyn's going to be huge. I think
Yeah,
people are going to be so hyped, especially if they keep the original art style that Lorwyn's known for.
right.
And bringing us back some Kithkin, which hasn't been seen in forever. I just think it's going to be very big. Unfortunately, like I said, I think the sets that are sandwiched on the outside of the meat of Final Fantasy are going to bomb
Mm.
because everyone's going to be
And
waiting or spending all their
and
money.
And here's the thing about it, like if you like these, I'm not gonna dog anybody for getting the universes beyond. If that's what gets you hyped about it, if that's what
Mhm.
I know, Air, you're really hyped about the Final Fantasy
Yeah,
one.
I'm not hyped about a
It,
whole bunch of IPs, but like I grew up with Final Fantasy, man. Like
Oh yeah,
right,
Final Fantasy is
and like
going to
with
be
me,
amazing.
I mean,
and like
I've
with
literally played and beaten almost every Final Fantasy you can think of. Like it's just one of those. I think it'll do good.
Oh,
like,
I
and
think it's
I'm
going to
a
do amazing.
huge I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan, right? I've been playing every single one of them since day one, since that game came out, because I love it. You know,
Hmm.
people, there was controversy with it, with whatever. I don't care. I like the games.
But it,
But
it
it's still, even then, I wasn't like, oh my God, I need every single
right.
goddamn card.
But even
Like
with
maybe
yeah,
Envio,
but even
but
Final Fantasy, like if you don't know what Final Fantasy is, you're not gonna buy that IP. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense,
right.
right?
I just think most Magic players know Final Fan. I mean, everyone I've talked to or anyone that's reached out to me on lives and whatever is the first thing they say. How hyped are you for Final Fantasy? And honestly, I really am hyped. You know, I'm more hyped in the sense that they said they're going to use characters from like all of them, not just seven,
Right, right, right,
which
Right.
which is like amazing because I love
See,
6, I love X2,
right. I'm talking about more.
8.
I'm talking about more of like a demographic of newer players though, like that have never played Final Fantasy because that's a big market of money, right? So
Yeah.
if
But I
they,
mean, the three boys in the car one, that one's a pretty big one.
yeah,
That one
listen.
was, I mean, from what I heard, I never played that
Breaking
one, but
news. Breaking
we'll
news
s-
2026 Universes Beyond Blues Clues and How to Train Your Dragon.
hey, I do love Blues Clues. I would
oh
take a
jeez.
legendary Steve.
Dude, all I
Oh,
want to
hell
know
yeah.
is if they're
Steve
gonna
you
make
can
an
Yeah,
have.
okay.
all I want to know is if they're gonna make an instant that's like
Dude, legendary Steves of each different John, there's
variation.
three Steves.
Yeah,
So what Steve is yours, you know?
right.
Oh man.
They transform into
It's
the
like
ultimate.
player
Come on.
archetypes, and now it's Steve's.
Yeah, like you get a pod of just Steves, you know?
Oh
Come
no,
on.
God, that's so funny.
Oh, that's
I might
funny.
get an alt art Steve for Captain America and he just flings Blues Clues, you know? And they're like the Blues Clues equipment.
Oh jeez.
I got you,
Anytime a
Rip. I'll
land,
I'll just make you a custom card. It's cool.
you just put a clue on a given land and it
I
turns
just
into an
throw
island.
clues at people. I'm like, oh, here's a sort of feast and famine, only the art's a blues clue.
And then you need
Get
one from
wrecked.
South. Then you need one
Yeah,
from South Park, like
get
Raging Clue or something.
Yeah.
get vorped.
Yeah,
Jeez.
get vorped. Put
All
that on a
right.
Oh
t-shirt.
god. Yeah, that's your
It's already in the works, Rip. It's already in the works.
Get vorped.
Yeah.
uh,
Oh man. Oh yeah, that's
But
that. You can
yeah,
get me on a side when we start talking about that game, Kyle, because that was fun. Just
oh yeah, that was too much fun. I was actually surprised at the caliber of players in that pod. I was like, holy moly, this is actually gonna be a
I
lot of
was
fun.
too. I was like, this is actually, I was actually having a blast. And then just asking Hotsy, like, oh, who do you think's gonna get vorped? And he's like, oh, Kyle. I'm like, oh, try again.
Jeez.
Try again. He's like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, you're getting vorped, Hotsy. Get out of here.
God, that's so funny. And the worst part
all I
about
know is
for
when I got on that stream and I saw Kyle playing Ivy, I was like, "You evil, evil man, you!"
It wasn't
Because I
that
played
bad. It
against
was
that deck.
fun. He was doing fun stuff with the mechanized, the enchantment. It was fun. Like it really wasn't crazy.
I was just
And maybe it
waiting
was
for
crazy, and I just wasn't paying attention because I was too busy, doing Frodo things. But
my whole yeah,
right.
I kind of felt bad for Hotsy because you were going after him, and then I stole his storm, and then it actually ended up storming one of my
you were the only
ramparts.
one to use Storm.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah, he took it pretty well, but I told him before the game, I'm like, if you're playing Storm, I'm gonna come after you just because.
The storm, yeah,
I I
Yeah,
was waiting for him
he was
to.
gonna get Taxi and Probe for like 10. I'm
yeah.
like,
I
get
was
out of here.
I was
Like,
waiting for him to drop his infamous mono green card, Triumph of the Hordes, on you guys, and just be like,
he said he
"Woo,
wasn't
I'll dump
playing
him
any of
into
that
Gorgo
stuff.
Pyrex." Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure Triumph was in that deck. I just didn't see it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, then I'm so glad. I'm so glad I
I
targeted him
mean,
then.
he's the heir to Phyrexia. Of course, he's gonna play something that gives everything impact. Come on now.
Oh,
Jeez.
Ivy one, I didn't think I had a chance against the Ivy. My deck
But
just doesn't match up well against.
What did you
listen,
play
Rip,
again, Rip?
I played Frodo, Soren's Bane with Loris
Oh, okay.
Companion, and then
Dang, no John Benton.
I searched
Rip,
up the Vorpal sword and started vorping people.
Yeah, I thought that
Rip,
was funny. Jeez.
You
Rip.
basically
I
you
don't know if
basically
you,
phaged people.
Yeah, I
Rip.
couldn't
I
get the
don't.
ring to tempt me, so I had to vorp.
Yeah, I don't know if our guests know about an infamous game me and Kyle played against, but I pretty much lose every single commander game for the rest of my life, right? Because this one guy, he had infinite mana. He pumped up his creature to like 1 trillion, 1 trillion or something, and then swung at me. I had no flyers. And then all of a sudden, this beautiful little man over here, went, oh, in response. And I said, oh shit. He goes, I'm going to put a tainted strike on that freaking creature.
Oh my
So I have
god.
a trillion infect counters attached to me for the rest of my career in this stupid game.
You're still trying to get rid of them.
Yeah.
I really am.
Hey,
I don't know, Kareem. The last time we played, you played Nadu, and I was so against the banning after I saw how poorly it performed.
Oh, listen.
God
The
damn.
word is still the word, okay?
Oh god.
I was like, Nadu did nothing wrong. Play against craniums.
Damn it.
Shots fired.
Wait. But wait, if I remember correctly, what happened that very next game with Atraxa, though?
No, I don't think that was the same
Oh.
game.
No, it was the same pod. We played the next one. I stacks people
Was it?
out.
Oh, I couldn't. God, I felt like you were just still reading your book.
Yeah.
I
How
was
did
playing
you,
solitaire.
yeah, how did
I thought you were still, there and back again with the Hobbit.
Yeah. Jeez.
Listen, if anyone plays Samwise Gamgee as a commander, I really want. Or no, I'm sorry, Bilbo. This goes for you, Rip. You have to. Or no, I'm sorry, not Bilbo. That would be. No, that's wrong. Okay, never mind.
You talking about the partner
I was about
commanders?
to say you have to do it. You have to do it in like Gandalf's voice whenever you capture. But it's Frodo. So yeah, but yeah, if that was the thing, you have to say it in his voice. Be like Bilbo Baggins.
I don't even think people are trying to get me to talk like Christian Bale today, so I don't know.
Come on,
Jeez.
Batman.
God.
Yeah, come on.
Well, anyways,
Why-
Michael Keaton
Why so
is my
serious?
Batman, so I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Keaton will always
Agreed.
be Batman, but it's always fun to have throat cancer Batman.
Ooh, I like that Metal Gear Solid sound.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, on to our next subject, which is
Yes.
kind of more for since you three actually went there, I'll be asking you guys a few questions. We're going to talk about MagicCon Vegas experiences, right? Like,
Wow.
what was your experience? How did you guys? And I know you guys all hung out, which is even better, which makes this great. What would
We
you
did
guys
hang
say?
out.
What would you guys say was like the pros of that of MagicCon Vegas? Like, what was your favorite? And just list off one. What was your favorite experience of MagicCon Vegas? We'll start with Phage.
Oh God. For me, I don't think I stopped laughing at all that weekend. I had so much fun with everybody, and just like, I will say that after Saturday, because I wasn't there Friday. I decided to drive to California to go to a concert instead of doing
Okay.
MagicCon, and then I drove back that same night. But
Rock and
Saturday
roll.
was my first day, and I was kind of overstimulated because it was my first MagicCon. It was my first Magic event.
Yeah.
And it was of that caliber. It was pretty overstimulating, but I mostly just played games and hung out with people, met everyone that I possibly could, and yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Rip, what was your positive experience of MagicCon Vegas?
Yeah, I mean, I've been to a couple cons. I used to go to when they were called Magic Fest, and I did a lot of competitions. But going to this one was completely different because I didn't go as someone who was competing in the tournaments. I went as, a full-blown content creator, and that was very interesting. Definitely just hanging out in the content creation corner, meeting people that watch my stuff, that enjoy my stuff, wanting to hang out with me, asking me to sign so many things. It was crazy. So it was just a different experience. And then, so that was a big part, was just talking to all these creators, meeting with people, um, networking, hanging out. Now, I didn't get to hang out too much with people. I did my best.
Yeah.
But I was very busy just the whole time, just kind of, because I kind of viewed it as kind of a job trip. I was looking to
Right.
continue networking to kind of build my brand and move to the next step. But it was really great. Like, and the people I did hang out with, I hung out with Kyle, I hung out with Phage. We played CDH. We had a blast. We were just hanging out. Kyle had me wait in line for like 2.5 hours to get him some signed stuff.
Oh yeah.
You mean no. I solicited him. Okay.
No,
Oh,
I just said I was going to
solicited
be in
him.
line, and I was like,
Yeah.
well, this is going to be a crazy line. Like, who needs stuff signed? So I just had people just give me a bunch of stuff to sign, and I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it. Because that's what we used to do, before I was a content creator.
Yeah.
So it was just
Yeah.
like, just seemed like the thing to do. Like, hey, I got in line. Like, let's divide and conquer this and get stuff signed for people. So it was great though, hanging out, like I said.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was great. And just meeting people, meeting everybody, and just kind of like letting people also see a different side of me than just
Yeah.
what you see on the screen. Because I'm actually a pretty fun guy, you
No,
know?
that's all. No, that's
I'm
all I've
actually a
heard
really
from.
fun person to hang out with. Everyone says that they
Listen,
would hate.
I'm not just a rules guy. Okay,
Everyone
I'm a
says they
cool
would, man, you
person.
must be really fun at parties. And I'm like, you know what? I actually kind of am. I kind of am really fun to be around. Like, you'd be shocked. You'd be like, oh man, that Rip guy, he is really cool dude. But no.
What about you, Kyle? What was your defining or favorite part of MagicCon Vegas? Because I know this was your first one, right?
This was my first Magic Con that I've been to.
Yeah.
It wasn't my first con that I've actually been to, but it was my first Magic Con.
Right.
I could say it was a lot of fun. Like Rip and Phage were saying, I got to hang out. We played a lot of Magic, and we had people coming up saying hi, signing everything. I, however, decided to cosplay, which I don't know which was a good thing or a bad thing. I thought it was fun, but like it added another experience to the con for me because between games and stuff, I had people coming up, taking pictures, wanting me to sign their stuff on top of, meeting the other content creators and stuff. So it was very interesting. It was a lot of work.
It was easy to find you.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the best part.
yeah, for sure. And I don't know. To be honest, I don't think I would cosplay 2 days. I didn't know there was only one day of cosplay.
Yeah.
So people didn't cosplay on Friday. So basically, I was the only one cosplaying on freaking Friday. So
I just thought that's just how you dressed. I was just like, oh, dude, he likes Vault overalls. Right on.
Yeah, dude.
Each their own.
Yeah, it was awesome.
He's like Doug with one outfit.
Yeah, like Rip said, it was easy to find me, but it was overall a good experience. And taking pictures for people and their kids and everything as a vault dweller, that's what did it for me.
Oh, yeah. Now, would you say there's like a difference in going as just a regular schmo Joe or whatever, or just as a Magic player, a person that loves this game, as opposed to being a content creator? What's the biggest difference that you would majorly see in that?
I think honestly, for me, it would be the difference of I think I would probably have a lot more fun. Honestly, because if you're a content creator, especially an affiliated or a sponsored one, you have things you have to do, right? So, like for me, I think if you take away all that stuff and then you just go there as a person just looking to play Magic, I think that would probably be the best time of my life. You don't have to worry about nothing. You either go there by yourself or with a group of friends or whatever, and call it a day.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what
I've actually never gone to a fest as just someone visiting. I've either been competing or with the content creation. But I'm not it's weird to say, but I don't think I'm very normal when it comes to Magic the Gathering. I don't collect. I give away my cards. I just like to play the game. So like if I'm not going there for a purpose, it's hard for me to get motivated to just kind of take on all that stimulation without having a reason why I'm there to focus and kind of keep me grounded throughout. But
We got Triple H over here.
Oh.
Yeah, so that as somebody who hasn't gone to a con, it's cool hearing these experiences. On going to Atlanta next year.
Oh, you're not going to do Chicago?
No, I may do Chicago.
Did you sign up for the Creator Pass?
No, I have not yet.
It's
Dino,
passed on Chicago, so you should get
he
ready for the next one.
well, yeah, for sure. I mean, I may still go to Chicago because Dino Des does live in the same state as me, and Chicago's only about a 4-hour drive, so it's not too bad.
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah,
Mhm.
maybe you
So I
can.
may end up going
You
for
might be
like a
able to
day or
get.
something.
You might be able to get a creator pass from one of the content creators. You never know.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure Dino, he'd be like, here you go. Like,
Yeah.
if I
Yeah,
wanted
that'd
to
be
go like
sweet.
for free for a day or something. So that's
Yeah,
something I'm actually going to talk to him about. I may go there, but also kind of in the middle of, and you guys know, don't say anything right now. I'm going to do an announcement on TikTok about it, but that'll be like kind of dead in the middle of something going on in life right now
yep,
with me. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, Atlanta for sure. Going to be going there. So anyone listening, if you guys are planning on going to Atlanta, look for the Hivemind podcast. Look for
Yeah.
Bad Magic
Yeah,
to be out.
we're gonna have bid representation there.
Yeah,
We're gonna have the
it's gonna
entire Bad Magic crew there.
and it's
Um,
gonna be a fun
Yeah.
time. Come catch some CDH games with us, win some
yes.
prizes because we do plan on doing some cool stuff for everyone out there. And we definitely won't be charging people to play against us as some other people do.
Well,
But
I will. I will
that's
be.
that's hearsay. Had to
Jeez.
throw a little shade at
Whoever
some of the
they're
bigger
not
content
charged,
creators.
I will charge.
Oh, damn it!
Oh
You
no.
don't leave money on the table, boys. Don't leave money on the table.
Right? We're gonna
Jeez.
play poker in this bitch. Like fuck it. Hey,
They don't
what?
want to. Pay,
You
they
know
don't want
what?
you to pay to play. I'll pay. You can
Nah.
pay me. I'll play you.
Hey, hey, we're gonna do a new thing at it. We're gonna do Fast and Furious rules. We're gonna play for pink slips. Okay? If I
Ooh,
beat you, I get
full
your
deck.
deck.
You can have my
So,
car. You can have my
uh,
'09
Ooh,
Santa
anti
Fe.
rules. Let's bring back the old anti
Let's do it.
rules. Let's
you
Well,
do
then
guys
it.
can have it for
I'm playing
proxies.
Jewel
It's fine.
Peacock.
That's actually not a bad idea. If you go one on one, like print out some proxy decks and be like, "Yo, if you beat me, you get the deck." That's
Yeah.
not a bad
Well,
idea.
That's
you can
kind of
put.
what
We could
Rip
do
is
if we had.
doing.
That is kind of what I'm doing. We're doing the no bans list commander tournament in my Discord, and the winner does get
She's just saying no
my.
ban.
They get my commander deck, which I'll be running Leovold Wheels.
Mm.
So they will win my entire commander proxy deck from
They,
printingproxies.com.
yeah, and
So here's the
a player one.
question: if I join this
Yes.
one, do I run a Traxa no band or
I want
do
you to
I
run
run?
Nadu. Show me.
No, not
I want a
Nadu.
free
Nadu.
win.
Wait, hold on. I, I'm I'm gonna do the meme real quick. Nadu.
Oh,
Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Or do I run let's see, who could I run that by? You know
You
what?
should you should definitely come into a cranium. That'd be some hype. I think people would really like to be in there and hear, some big names, having Air Phyrexia, having you,
Yeah,
I think that'd be
I've already set my deck, and I may give away. I'm pretty sure I'm giving away my deck in your tournament too as well. Probably sign
very
it.
cool. Yeah.
You know
So
what? I think
so I'm gonna order mine. I'm gonna have the rip pull repeat insignia on the back of the,
Yeah.
the card back. And
Ours will have the Hive Mind podcast on the back as well.
yep.
yeah. So yeah, just giving it away.
When
But
is
I
that
think Cranium,
tournament,
I
by the
think
way,
that'd be
Rick?
fantastic. That would help that would help really promote it as well, just having another
Yeah.
big creator
Okay.
playing in the tournament.
When is the tournament again?
You're gonna have to
January
talk to
3rd.
Sage.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can DM you details, Cranium.
Yeah, DM me the deets because I got
And we
I
will
got
have
one.
these will be judged as well. We will have judges. So this will
Yeah.
be, as
Right.
official as we can get on Spell Table with rules, with camera rules as far as where you can shuffle your deck, how you do things. It's gonna be pretty legit. I'm gonna make it
Right.
as legit as possible.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I just need to know the dates because I have a fun one and I'll promote this on the here real quick. I have something coming up, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday in December. It is going to be me and Cobgoblin, what's her name? Magic New Girl and Dino Dez. We're doing a fun little Christmas live stream on TikTok.
Nice.
Where we all are buying each other precons. We're not going to open up the precons until we actually begin to play. And then we're just going to have a nice, probably 3-hour casual precon game. It's going to be so much fun.
Very cool. I was gonna say, I was like, wait a second, who are you and what'd you do with Cranium?
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's
A fun-
weird.
What is that?
What the fuck is that?
It's
What
okay,
is
Cranium.
casual?
I've been trying to play pre-con games in Rip's Discord server, and I'm miserable the whole time.
Pre-con games are way more fun. I think pre-con games and CDH are where it's at, honestly.
Honestly, I do like the pre-con games because there's enough little bit bullshit in there because at
Yep.
that point it's going back to the original of the game is like, hey, I'm not gonna be able, they don't put combos in this shit, so I'm just gonna swing at you, knock
Yeah.
you square in the
It's
fucking
and
throat.
everyone's on the same footing. You know that
Right.
Soul
That's
Ring is their
true.
best one.
Yeah.
And
All the tap lands.
I just think, I think if you're gonna play on it, it's probably a pretty hot take, but yeah, CDH and pre-cons are like the best way to play. Everything else in the middle is kind of gook, and
Because at least with pre-cons you can't have someone being like, oh, why'd you counter my spell? Blah!
you don't even have to have a rule zero talk. So I think that's what
Right.
another thing with how I like
That's
CDH.
true. That's a good
And
point.
pre-cons,
Yeah.
there's no. It's like this is just a pre-con, and it's like there's no rule zero. Like it doesn't matter what pre-con you even bring.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I got a lot of guff about my secret lair pre-con.
Wait,
okay,
secret
the
lair
secret
one?
layer pre-cons are a little different. Like that flip coin secret layer.
That's the one that I was playing.
That's
Yeah,
so
that
bad
one
out of the box, though.
that one
I
that took like
agree.
a year and a half
Oh,
for everyone to get.
speaking of
Six good cards in there.
Speaking of secret layer pre-cons,
Oh god.
Rip, you want to lead
No,
us
yeah.
on this next one?
Let's get into that one. Let's do that. Real
I feel
quick.
like this is an extra one. I feel like this is an extra topic. But
Yeah.
Secret Magic the Gathering is releasing the 20 Ways to Win Commander deck list for Secret Lair. And let me be the first to tell you, this is the biggest pile of hot garbage I have seen of Secret Lair. There's no tutors. It's sloppily made. It's a fast cash grab with very cute art.
So pretty much what you're saying. So pretty much what you're saying. It's a bunch of
These nuts.
It's offensive. It's offensive. They have 20 ways to win, but 0 ways to find those win cons.
Right.
And then to justify their poor mana bases, which has been a complaint throughout pre-con history, is why can't they give us some of the better lands? They throw in Maze's End as a win condition. So all you're going to get is a bunch of tap lands and maybe but you will walk away with an exotic orchard for the 1,000th time put into a pre-con. So yay, I can tap for someone else's mana, but not for 5 colors. Get out of here.
Is this a limited print?
I hope so, because that means only a limited amount of people are going to be playing with this trash.
what Rip for all the listeners out there. What Rip is really trying to say is,
it's the biggest piece of dog shit.
But there are some pros. The alt arts for the cards that they did do alt arts for are beautiful, fantastic.
Best cards in the deck. Seedborn Muse was one of them.
Yep. I don't know. It didn't get alt art though. So, but like the Felidar Sovereign has beautiful alternative art. Go Shintai has beautiful art. The Soul Ring, Simic Ascendancy is another gorgeous art. And what I'm saying, if you want buy those cards.
Yeah,
just buy those alt art cards.
Yeah, buy the singles.
And use
save
them.
Yourself the money for the rest of the deck.
Yeah, and use your Go Shintai in your actual Enchantment Shrines deck where it matters.
Not a Maze's End deck is what you're talking about.
Yeah, and if you have a Maze's End deck, they didn't even the new Maze's End, gorgeous. Beautiful art on the Maze's End. Like there are some positives, but not 149.99 positives.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just a bad deck. I'm just like,
if you're gonna play Gates, play Go Shintai. Like that one's known as the Gate Commander right there.
And
like,
everybody was kind of hyped for this because they thought that what was going to happen was that they were going to unban Coalition Victory, and throw it in here. That would have been hype. Like that would have at least brought some hype, but no, that's not even close. I mean, obviously they couldn't do that because these decks are made years in advance.
Right.
Right.
So like this was their plan. Like, and it's just the value's not there. I had someone in my live tell me this is about $220 worth of value, and that's because of some bloated cards like Kiano Tiro of Miletus, which is a $20 foil only card before this reprinting.
Right.
Right.
It's just I implore Magic players. I'm a big proponent on it's your money. You can buy whatever you want, and no one can
Right.
say anything otherwise. I
Right.
just want people to get better value, and this is not it. This is offensive. This is a slap in the face of Magic
Yep.
the Gathering players. This is a fast cash grab,
Thanks,
and
Hasbro.
Yeah.
yeah, it's terrible. It's just not a good deck.
If we were playing ass or gas, it would definitely be ass. Let's just put it that
Oh
way.
yeah.
Oh, speaking of Master Gas,
We do have one.
do we have one?
Yeah.
Oh shit! What is it?
All right, so we're gonna move on to ass or gas.
We're
Zodiac.
doing Master Gas, so we'll do the one that we got from our commenters.
Yeah.
But then Rip and Phage, I want you guys to come up with a card.
Yeah.
A card?
Yes.
We're just any. It could be a commander. It could be anything that you would see in CDH or in
CDH. Okay.
And
Okay.
we'll rate it on the rate of ass or gas. So what's the one card?
We have Zodiac Mirgate 8247 on episode 11 asking ass or gas, Imodane the Pyrohammer.
Imodane?
Mm-hmm.
Imodane. Hold on a second.
Let's check it out.
Yeah.
This is CDH, right?
The Pyro Hammer.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Imodane the Pyro Hammer. Cool art on it. 2 red, 2 colors. Whenever an instant or sorcery spell you control that targets only a single creature deals damage to that creature, Imodane deals that much damage to each opponent. I think that's situational.
So this is gonna be in closest thing you can do this in is Zada.
Yeah, I was
right?
about to say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Zada's low tier CDH at best. Still very fast, very powerful. That's where you would see this most likely. But does Zada want a 4-drop 4/4?
As a Zada player, Zada does not, not unless it's trees
you're
and
not-
Soaker.
Yep.
I'd say for Zada, it's ass. I'd say for casual EDH, it's probably gas because you'd see something like you can combo off in a Gashat deck with that Raptor, or whenever it deals damage, you create a copy and then you just keep dealing. It does like 3 damage. It's a 3-card combo, but
Cast Star Extinction or something.
right, like cool. But it's not really necessary because it doesn't fit the theme of a dinosaur deck.
Yeah.
But it's a very situational card, so I'm gonna go with ass.
Yeah, my take's the same thing. I'm gonna say ass on this.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Zada, and honestly, with Red having Magda at the helm, I mean, it's like apples and lemons,
I mean, I would just rather have Perforos to do not as much of a powerful effect, but then each creature that comes into play, I'm still pinging against the damage to opponents.
Yeah.
It's indestructible. They're slightly different, but they still kind of are just doing the same thing.
Honestly, I'd rather have something like All Will Be One as a card in the deck to do something like that. And you can go infinite. It may be a little costly, but you get the combo card out. It's a 2-card combo, and you just ping everyone to death. So I would rather play that than Imodane. But Imodane, honestly, if you're running a mono red and you have a good strategy with it, I would love to see the deck list.
I got a card that I've been mulling over for so long.
Let's do it.
If it's ass or gas.
Let's go.
Conqueror's Flail.
Can I start on this one?
Please do. Please.
Straight fucking gas. I have won so many cards.
What?
Equipment. Yes.
What? Get out of here.
I love those types of effects. Grand Evolvers
Oh my
are
God.
the best in the game.
Honestly, I am going to say because there's not a lot of equipment. Like, you have to have artifact hate, right? But your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. That's just another, way to stop. That's another. What's that? 2 white freaking. I run it. I just can't think of the fucking
Grand
name right now.
Abolisher.
Grand Abolisher. It's a Grand Abolisher equipment, It's City of Solitude. It's a
This is
good
4
card in my
mana.
opinion. It's 4, but I mean in CDH is 4 mana really that hard to come by?
I run this in my flubs. It's in my
Mhm.
flubs. It's always on the chopping block every time.
Okay, I can.
It hasn't been chopped yet because I still get these 50-50s where some people are like, hey, this is a really good card. And then other people say, no. I don't know. I'm still on the fence with it. I've never cast it and I've never equipped it.
I think if Flubs could have Grand Abolisher or Cutzel over the equipment.
Oh, it would definitely. If I could, I would.
Right.
So it's tricky.
But since you,
I'm gonna say gas in both
Okay.
formats.
Okay.
In both.
What do you got for me, Phage?
Just because I was so sad about Keurig getting nuked at a CEDH, I toyed with the idea of doing a Tiny Bones CEDH, but I don't know how viable it is. And I mean the not the newest one. Not the newest one. I think it was the one that came out in Outlaws of Thunder Junction.
okay, yeah.
Oh god,
No.
I don't even have to look at it. If you're comparing that to Kirk, ass.
Not comparing it to Keurig.
Straight ass. I can't believe we're even having this conversation.
Oh, no.
I am.
No.
I can't even believe that you even brought this up. I
Tiny
go from a
Bones,
legitimate
hang on.
question. I go from a legitimate Conqueror's Flail question, and that's what you throw at me.
No, it's the other one.
Phage.
Trinket
I got my
Trinket
feelings
thief.
hurt because my Kirk got blown up, so I went
Phage.
Tiny Bones.
Trinket thief.
Phage, I got something for you.
Yes.
Instead of Tiny Bones, put Rev Tithe Drinker at the helm.
So, I just okay.
Gosh.
I gotta look up Rev. Hold on.
No, that's a
I
4-man. I
honestly
don't think that
Trinket-
card's good.
I'm gonna say this: Trinket Thief, garbage. Tiny Bones. Let's see. Is it
Really, I would
Bobbleberg?
probably rather go.
No, it's not Bobbleberg.
Bobble
Burglar
Burglar
is
is
the
the
new
new
one.
one. You know,
Yeah. All right. Hold on. Tiny Bones.
in Tiny Bone Trinket Thief's defense, there is an alt art where he's riding a moped. So
Right. So it deals combat damage to the player. You may
mopeds
cast
are now
the target
canon in Magic the
non-land.
Gathering. So we
Right.
have mopeds.
Nice.
We have
So here
mopeds.
it
Here we
is,
go.
right? It's 1 black, 1/1 death touch. Whenever Tiny Bones the pickpocket deals combat damage to a player,
Oh,
you
the
may cast
pickpocket.
target non-land permanent card from that player's graveyard and mana of any type. I don't see that as a horrible card. It is a 1 cost. There is
That was literally the only reason. It was a 1
Yeah.
cost.
That is
I mean,
very.
that's turn 1 Tiny
yeah.
Bones, in turn 2. But what's in the graveyard at turn 2 at
Remember
that
Tiny
point?
Bones?
Unless they
Right.
have if they have a vampiric tutor, if they have an enlightened tutor, or any sort of the really cheap tutors in there that you can be like, okay, maybe I can I can find my win con out of that. I'd say it's better in the 99.
Mm-hmm.
Like you
I
could
don't
put
know.
that in click.
I'm just so sad that I no longer have a mono black CEDH general that is viable. Because with losing Lotus and Crypt,
You do
he's
not
not
put disrespect
viable.
on Crick's name that way, okay? That is still the best EDH commander.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying he's just high power now. He's not CEDH anymore because
Didn't
it's
Crick
so
just
hard.
win a tournament?
telling Dave.
I
am so telling Dave.
You can tell Dave, but I mean, hot take.
How about this? How about this, Phage? There is a CDH Yawgmoth Black Stacks CDH build.
There is
Okay.
Yeah.
I can
That has
look
some
into that.
combos.
Alright.
You could
No,
run
we're-
some mono black stacks.
We're waiting
Paige,
for.
I want
She needs to
I
ask
want
her
you to
gas
do
the
one.
Conqueror's Flail, though, right? That's what we're
I-
talking about.
I want you to build a
We're talking
deck.
about a lot of stuff right now.
I know.
We got
And hold on real quick.
corral it
yeah.
in, hosts. Corral it in.
Paige, I
That's what I
want
said.
you to make a deck that looks like a mono black deck, but it's actually Demir. I want you to make Toxrill. Okay.
Ugh.
I really want you to make Toxrill because you have it is a viable CDH deck. But it will get hated off the table, just letting you know you put that down your target number 1. So
Okay.
you'll make a Toxrill.
She's like,
deck.
okay.
I usually am anyway. I play CEDH with you guys. You guys just bully me the whole time. I could do nothing.
Absolutely. Hey, listen, one of us has to be the punching bag each round. I'm usually the first one. Okay.
You just get Dranished. It's fine.
Yeah, all the time. But anyway, with that,
Phage was asked for
just
guessing
want to
the Conqueror's
say,
Flail. That's what we were waiting for.
oh yeah, Paige. What is your opinion on Conqueror's Flail?
What does it do again?
It does. All right, so it's a two costing, two equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each color among permanents you control. As long as Conqueror's Flail is attached to a creature, your opponents can't cast spells during your turn.
Mm, I think it's ass because
Yes.
it's situational. It's too situational.
Okay.
Because
I mean, I definitely
yes,
couldn't.
most CEDH decks that I've played against, which let's be honest, is not a lot. I've only been doing this for like 2 years. But most decks are 3 colors, so I can see why that would be something that you want in there. But it just feels situational to me. And
I'm
I've never
definitely
seen
going to be
someone
It's
play
more
it.
so the second part, Phage. Don't even
yeah.
read the first part. The first part is absolute ass. It's the
The
second
only
ability.
the only way Conqueror's Flail would be good is if you're running it in like first sliver food chain. Like I could see it in that because now you got a 12/12 commander coming
Well,
out.
I
But
run, I run an objectively better Flubs food chain. So
sure.
Oh
The
God.
You know what?
shade.
You know what? You know what? You're coming on Bad Magic this Saturday, right?
am I? Was I
I,
invited on that one?
I think so
Somebody is.
because
I
first
mean,
sliver
I'm
might come.
on. I'm playing CDH on Mental Misplay on Friday.
Okay.
I don't think I
I
have
think.
anything on Saturday, you guys.
Oh no, Phage was going to play this Saturday, and
Yeah,
then I
Phage is
think
Yeah.
this
we were going to
Saturday.
invite you for the.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
don't want none of this
whatever you
Flubs.
want.
You don't want none
No,
of
but
this.
you know what? That little frog is about to get stomped out by a bunch of fucking slivers.
All I
Okay.
do is play a card and stare into the void and wait till my turn again.
Not the void. Oh man.
Well, and with that, I think we'll conclude that with our ass or gas and everything.
Yeah, you
Thank you
guys.
for everyone that has listened to this podcast. Thank you to our guest Phage and Rip, Pull, and Repeat. Always love
All
having you
three
guys
of us.
play and being on the podcast. It's always a great time with you guys. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for the support. Be looking out for this is our finale. Or air is this our finale, or do we want to make that a certain announcement?
Ooh.
We'll I think we'll wait to make the announcement, but this may or may not be our finale. We'll figure. But
May or may not.
for now, this is our finale.
For now, this is the finale of season 1. Look out for stuff coming next year. Hopefully, we get some stuff together. Phage, thank you for the product line with our hats
Yep,
and our
untouchable threads,
sweatshirts,
My
untouchable
pleasure.
threads.
which I still
Thank
need
you
to
to
get, by the way.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Waiting on
Air,
the
I'll let
page.
you. Air, I'll let you do your plug for yours coming up. But we do have some stuff. I still need to reach out to Jank Mats. If anyone knows any good artists, please let me know. Or Air to Firex, because we are looking to make a Bad Magic playmat that we can get out to you guys and possibly have provided for you. So,
Yeah.
would be great.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't have much else. Like I said, for right now, I'm going to be focusing on Ripple Repeats No Ban tournament
Yep.
coming up in January, I believe, and then we have Phage's birthday tournament, or not tournament, but stream.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So those are the 2 things I'll be focusing on top of what we're going to do this season 2 of our podcast. So we're looking to make a few moves and changes, and hopefully we can get some help.
Be ready for that first guest that's going to be on there too.
Yeah, so hopefully we can get some help to get us the ball rolling on that. So I know a lot of people do different types of podcasts on different platforms, so we need to really shop around and get some help on how we're going to move forward with our podcast. So, really that's what we're looking for. And like Cranium said, we're looking for the for some artists. It'd be nice to get a couple play mats in our line too. As well.
Yeah.
And just remember, for all your card needs, if you can't afford the card, printingproxies.com. I'm not even an affiliate, and I'm pushing that fucking plug right now.
For real. You guys have
That's
anything,
funny.
Rip and Paige?
Go ahead, Rip.
Oh God. Okay, let me go down my laundry list. Um, First off, Cranium and Arid said, printingproxies.com, Magic the Gathering's best and fastest proxy site. Get your cards for as little as 75 cents a card, and they are fantastic quality. Anyone that has checked them out has been more than pleased with them. So please give them a check out. They're running right now a Black Friday sale for 20% off site wide. If you order 100 or more cards, you can get 10 random cards, proxy cards, for free. So definitely check them out. Biggest sale they've had. Definitely a good time to try it. But if proxies aren't your jam, you can check out another sponsor of the channel, CoolStuffInc.com, where you can get all of your Magic the Gathering related accessories, singles, and sealed product. Use my code RIP5, sorry, RIP5 for 5% off your entire order. Check them out. They're also running a Black Friday deal for 10% off all Magic the Gathering variants. So, you got some choices. And that should do it.
That was great, Rip. Good job. God. Well, you guys know that I'm Paige or Inkvale. I have a Shopify store that I help my fellow MTG content creators with doing merch. We have Rip Pull Repeat. We have
Yes, you
Hivemind
do.
Podcast. I have Salt Shaker merch for Eddie MTG. I have my own on there, Cauldron Boys, and I'm looking at adding more content creators. And so I do that, and then I'm also on Flavor Savers, where I make custom cards and just get another creative outlet in that way. And then, yeah, I think that's it. I don't have the laundry list like Rip.
Pretty soon, Paige. Pretty soon.
Yeah. It feels like it's getting there, but
All right. Cranium, want to lead us out?
Well, like I said, I appreciate you guys coming on to the podcast and everything like that. And thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, and comment a card, commander, instant, it doesn't matter, equipment, so we can get it on our next episode or beginning of next season's Ass or Gas. And as always, for the Hive.
Glory to Phyrexia. Good night, everybody.